And we begin this hour with updates on the planned nationwide strike by organized labor, which has now been suspended. This development follows a meeting between the federal government and labor leaders, which lasted for about 6 hours on Monday night. After the meeting, both parties reached an agreement with the federal government, getting a 30-day respite for implementation of that agreement. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde has details.
A last-ditch attempt to avert a nationwide strike finally yields results after a 6-hour-long meeting between the federal government and labor unions in the country. But the federal government was only given a 30-day respite to commence the implementation of more than a dozen agreements reached with organized labor or prepare for another industrial action. Among other resolutions reached at the meeting between Labour and the government is an agreement to pay 35,000 naira provisional wage increment for federal workers till a new minimum wage is agreed.
Federal government suspends collection of value-added tax (VAT) on diesel for 6 months beginning from October 2023. 4. Federal government accepts to vote 100 billion for the provision of high-capacity buses for mass transit in Nigeria. 5. The federal government plans to implement various tax incentive measures for private sector and the general public.
We've had very painstaking and meticulous deliberations, but what is important here is Nigeria, and all of us are committed to ensuring that this country remains united, peaceful, and prosperous.
For the labor unions, they seem to still be holding the federal government by the jugular, as they refused to completely vacate the threat of an industrial action. They know time is of the essence as the 30-day countdown begins.
After 30 days, if these issues are not implemented, we'll revisit all the issues.
We have a signed agreement, and we have signed this agreement with the belief that government will act in utmost good faith. We signed this agreement with the belief that every single item in this agreement are implementable. Every single item in this agreement, we are extremely serious about them, and we wish to also reiterate that we are expecting 100% implementation and not a 99%.
This dispute between the federal government and labor unions, caused by the removal of fuel subsidy, has lingered since the start of President Bola Tinubu's administration. But with the fresh ultimatum from the labor unions, pressure will continue to pile on government as Nigerians also hope to directly feel the impact of agreements reached and signed. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.